When the night grows quiet and the world finally softens, something inside you begins to awaken. It's that small, gentle part of your heart that's been longing for peace all day. The part that wants to breathe, to rest, to understand itself a little more deeply. Tonight, you're not here to think harder or try harder. You're here to be held by stories. Stories born from Buddhist wisdom, carried through centuries. Stories meant not to teach you rules, but to guide you home. Back to calm, back to clarity, back to the quiet truth already living in you. Let this be the night your soul finally exhales. There's a quiet question that lives inside almost every human heart. Why am I here? Why was I born into this life, into this body, into this exact journey? It's not a question we say out loud very often. Most of the time, we tuck it away under work, responsibilities, and the noise of everyday living. But in the soft hours of the night, when the world stops asking anything of you, that question has a way of rising like a whisper in the dark. Tonight, we start here, with the beginning of your story, a story older than your first breath. According to Buddhist wisdom, none of us arrive by accident. Your birth was not random, not luck, not coincidence. You were shaped by countless ripples from the past, memories you can't recall, choices you no longer remember, kindnesses you once gave, and lessons your soul hasn't yet learned. Life brought you here because this moment, this chapter, this exact path has something essential to teach your heart. Some people imagine karma as a punishment, but that isn't what the Buddha taught. Karma is not a sentence, it's a conversation, a gentle continuation, a weaving of moments, intentions, and truths that slowly guide you toward understanding. Your birth is simply the opening of a new classroom. Maybe you felt it, a strange familiarity with someone you just met, a deep fear that seems older than your childhood, a talent you didn't have to learn, a tenderness or sadness you can't explain. These are echoes, quiet footprints from another time. And because you're alive in this life, in this body, right now, it means there is something here you are strong enough to learn, something your soul is ready to release, something your heart is ready to grow into. You were born not to suffer endlessly, but to awaken gently. Sometimes the lesson is patience. Sometimes it's compassion. Sometimes it's learning how to love without losing yourself. Sometimes it's learning how to stand up for your truth with a steady, open heart. And sometimes the lesson is simply learning how to rest, how to breathe, how to be. The Buddha said that every life is an opportunity to polish the mirror of the mind, to wipe away fear, attachment, resentment, and confusion, so your natural clarity can shine again. Think of a lake at dawn. When the water is still, you can see the sky reflected perfectly. But when storms come, the reflection distorts. Not because the sky changed, but because the water was shaken. Your mind is the same. Your true nature, calm, wise, loving, has always been there. Life's challenges are simply the winds that ripple the surface. This life you're living right now, with all its joys, sorrows, unanswered questions, and unhealed places, is the perfect lake for your awakening. Nothing is accidental. Every person you meet, every heartbreak, every blessing, every detour, every quiet moment of loneliness, and every unexpected kindness is part of a larger teaching designed specifically for the evolution of your spirit. And here's a truth that brings many people comfort. You chose this life not consciously, but deeply. Your soul chose a path where it could grow in the ways it needed most. You chose the lessons that would strengthen you. You chose the relationships that would challenge you. You chose the circumstances that would awaken you. Even the painful chapters were not punishments. They were invitations. Invitations to learn grace. Invitations to practice forgiveness. Invitations to experience courage. Invitations to understand love at a level deeper than emotion, at the level of wisdom. You were born because your journey isn't finished. There is something beautiful waiting inside you that is still unfolding. Maybe you are here to learn how to give love without fear. Maybe you are here to receive love without doubt. Maybe you are here to break a cycle that generations before you could not. Maybe you are here to heal what they didn't know how to heal. Or maybe, simply, you are here to finally come home to yourself. So tonight, as you rest, let your heart soften into this one gentle truth. You are not lost. You are not behind. You are exactly where your soul needs to be. You were born because this life, with all its textures, all its colors, all its chapters, holds the wisdom your spirit came here to discover. And every breath you take is a step toward that discovery. Let the quiet guide you. Let the night hold you. Let this moment be a reminder. Your birth was meaningful. Your path is sacred. Your journey is unfolding exactly as it should. If birth is the beginning of the journey, then every person you meet along the way is a signpost, a quiet reminder that life is always guiding you, even when you don't see the map. In Buddhism, there is a gentle belief. No encounter is random. Every person who crosses your path is connected to you through invisible threads woven long before this lifetime. Think about the people who have entered your life. Some stayed, some left, some changed you forever, and some barely brushed against your world but left a mark anyway. Each of them arrived with a purpose. Some came to love you. Some came to challenge you. Some came to break your heart open. Some came to mirror the parts of you you've avoided. Some came simply to walk next to you for a short while, so you wouldn't have to face certain chapters alone. You might not have realized it at the time, but every encounter, even the painful ones, served the evolution of your spirit. There's an old Zen saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. But teachers don't always look like monks or wise elders. Sometimes they look like the friend who betrayed you, the partner who loved you deeply, the stranger who showed you kindness at the perfect moment, or the person who made you question your worth, just so you could rediscover it on your own. Some souls travel with us through many lifetimes. When you meet them, something inside you recognizes them instantly. You might feel safe without knowing why. You might feel drawn to them, as if your hearts remembered a promise long forgotten. Or you might feel an unexplainable heaviness, like unfinished business resurfacing from the past. These connections are not mistakes. They're karmic bonds, unfinished lessons, unresolved emotions, or deep love carried over from lifetimes before. Some relationships bless you, some relationships teach you, and some relationships free you. There is beauty in all three. Those who hurt you show you where your wounds are. Those who love you show you what your heart is capable of. Those who leave you show you how strong you truly are. When someone walks away, it's not because you weren't enough. It's because their role in your story has ended, and a new chapter needs space to begin. Sometimes the most compassionate thing you can do is let someone go with grace, quietly, sincerely, without grasping or bitterness, trusting that what is meant to stay will stay, and what is meant to leave will free you both. You see, in the language of karma, goodbyes are not punishments, and connections are not rewards. Everything is simply movement, the flowing of souls toward whatever helps them grow next. There's a gentle teaching in Buddhism that says, those who come are meant to come. Those who go are meant to go. This doesn't mean you should stop caring. It means you should stop clinging. Clinging causes suffering. But love, real love, allows freedom. Imagine holding water in your hand. If you squeeze it tightly, it slips through your fingers. But if you hold it softly, it stays. Relationships are the same. We lose people not because we love them too little, but because we tried to hold them too tightly, or because the lesson they carried for us has already been delivered. Even endings are part of the design. Have you ever noticed how certain people leave your life right when you're about to step into a new version of yourself? How heartbreak pushes you toward your purpose. How loneliness forces you to meet your own strength. How losing someone opens room for someone better aligned with your path. Nothing is random. Life rearranges your relationships with stunning precision. And even when someone disappears suddenly, with no explanation, no closure, just an empty space where they once stood, there is still meaning in it. Sometimes the closure you seek is the one you give to yourself. Sometimes the question, why did they leave, is answered by another. What did their departure awaken in me? Because every connection shapes you. Every separation shapes you too. So if someone has walked into your life with love, receive it. If someone has walked out of your life with silence, honor it. If someone stays with you through your storms, treasure it. The soul recognizes what the mind cannot explain. And tonight, as you prepare to rest, let this truth settle gently into your heart. The people who enter your life are not coincidences. They are reflections. They are lessons. They are companions, chosen by the journey of your soul. Every encounter is a piece of your awakening. Breathe that in. Let it soften you. Let it set you free. There is a moment in everyone's life when the weight becomes too heavy. A moment when you look at your challenges and wonder, why does it have to be this hard? You might not say it out loud, but your heart has whispered it more than once. Pain, loss, failure, confusion. These are words we're taught to fear. But in Zen teachings, these are not curses. They are lanterns lighting the way back to yourself. Every struggle you've lived through did not arrive to break you, but to reveal you. The Buddha taught that suffering is not a punishment. It is a signal, a gentle tug from the universe asking you to pay attention, to turn inward, to see what you've tried to avoid, and to soften where your heart has grown guarded. When life becomes difficult, it is not because you are weak, but because you are being invited to evolve. Pause for a moment. Think of the hardest chapter you've ever lived through. Not the one you talk about, but the one you survived quietly. Maybe it was losing someone you loved. Maybe it was the betrayal you never expected. Maybe it was waking up every day feeling lost, trying to smile through the ache. Maybe it was the moment you realized something you thought would last forever didn't. At the time, it felt like the end. But now, looking back, can you see even a glimmer of how that pain shaped you? How it strengthened your boundaries? How it deepened your compassion? How it taught you what you deserved and what you would no longer accept? This is the secret Zen understanding of suffering. Life does not give you pain to destroy you. It gives you pain to wake you up. A seed must break open before it can grow. A wave must rise before it can rest. A heart must crack before its light can shine. Your struggles are not detours. They are the very path that leads you home. Sometimes, the universe removes what you thought you needed, so you can discover who you are without it. Sometimes, you lose something because your soul has outgrown it, long before your mind realized it. Sometimes, the worst thing that ever happened to you is also the thing that opened the door to a version of yourself you never imagined. Zen monks often use the image of a storm. When the storm comes, the tree does not fight the wind. It bends. It sways. It allows itself to move, so it will not break. This is how we are meant to move through life's hardest moments. Not resisting, not collapsing, but bending with awareness, knowing the storm is temporary and the sky never disappears. You've survived storms you thought would drown you. You've carried burdens you never thought you could hold. And somehow, you're still here. Not the same, but wiser. That is the quiet miracle of suffering. It changes your shape, but it does not ruin you. It strips away illusions, but it never takes your truth. It humbles you, but it also makes your heart vast enough to hold compassion for others in pain. Every moment you have struggled has prepared you for this moment, this breath, this awareness, this unfolding version of you. There is also a deeper teaching. Your hardships are connected to your karma, not as punishment, but as completion. Some pains come into your life to finish a story from long ago. Some struggles appear because your soul asked for strength, and life delivered the experiences that would build it. Karma does not give you suffering because you deserve it. Karma gives you lessons because you're ready for them. Ready to release patterns. Ready to end cycles. ready to finally choose peace instead of reaction. When you're in the middle of pain, it's hard to see it as a lesson. It feels like chaos. But from the outside, from the eyes of wisdom, there is order in every moment, a deeper intelligence shaping your journey. And here's the most comforting truth. Nothing you've gone through is wasted. Every struggle is carrying you closer to awakening. There are parts of yourself you only meet through challenge. There is courage you only find when your heart breaks open. There is wisdom you only receive when everything else falls apart, and yet you survived. Not perfectly, not gracefully, but honestly. And honesty is the foundation of awakening. So tonight, as your body softens into rest, let your struggles be seen for what they truly are. Not evidence of failure, but evidence of growth. Not signs of punishment, but signs of transformation. You are not broken, you are becoming. And every challenge you have endured has been guiding you quietly, patiently, back to the deepest truth of who you are. There's a kind of peace that doesn't come from achieving anything, fixing anything, or becoming anything new. It's the peace that has been with you since the beginning. Quiet, gentle, and steady, waiting beneath the noise of your mind. Zen masters often say that awakening is not about gaining something. It's about remembering something you've forgotten. And the place where remembering happens most easily is in rest. Not just sleep, but deep rest. The kind where your mind loosens its grip, your breath softens, and your heart finally unclenches from everything it's been holding. This is why nighttime is so sacred. When you surrender to stillness, the truth has room to rise. There is a story in Buddhist tradition about a monk who traveled far to meet a wise teacher. He wanted enlightenment more than anything. He practiced for years, meditating intensely, striving endlessly. One day, exhausted, he collapsed beside a river and fell asleep. In that sleep, he dreamt he was floating, weightless, unburdened. When he awoke, he realized something profound. Peace does not arrive when the mind tries. Peace arrives when the mind rests. Everything he had been chasing was already inside him, hidden under layers of tension, fear, and effort. You, too, carry this hidden peace. Your anxieties, wounds, and overthinking are like clouds. They come and go, but they cannot touch the sky beneath them. Your mind is that sky. Spacious, open, always capable of clearing. And rest is what clears it. Throughout your life, you have been taught to push, strive, prove, perform. But very rarely have you been taught how to gently return to yourself. Return to softness. Return to breath. Return to the part of you that doesn't need to be anything in order to be worthy. In Zen philosophy, peace is not something you earn. It's something you uncover. Imagine holding a snow globe. When you shake it, everything swirls chaotically. Confetti flying everywhere, blurring what's inside. But if you set it down and let it become still, the pieces settle. Clarity returns. Your mind works the same way. This is why Buddhist teachings while you sleep are powerful. Not because the words magically transform you, but because your mind is finally quiet enough to let truth sink in. While you rest, your inner world reorganizes itself. Your nervous system unwinds. Your heart softens. Your breath becomes your anchor again. And in that surrender, your natural wisdom rises to the surface. Sometimes, understanding comes not when you think harder, but when you stop thinking. Sometimes, healing happens not when you try to fix the past, but when you give yourself permission to rest from it. Sometimes peace enters not when everything is perfect, but when you stop resisting what is. Life will continue to give you challenges. Life will continue to offer moments of joy and moments of grief. But beneath all of it, there is a quiet truth. You were not born to carry the world. You were born to experience it, to learn from it, to grow with it, to walk through it with a heart that stays open even after breaking. And the way you keep your heart open is by returning to rest. Think of how nature restores itself. Winter is not a failure. It is a season of renewal. Trees do not apologize for shedding their leaves. They let go because rest is part of growth. You, too, are allowed to shed what is heavy, to lay down what you have carried too long, to give yourself permission to pause. You are allowed to rest, not as a reward, but as a right. The Buddha taught that peace is found not in escape, but in presence, in being fully here, fully now, with your breath, with your body, with the moment exactly as it is. Rest is presence. Sleep, when entered with awareness, is a return to presence. And presence is freedom. As you drift into sleep tonight, you are not falling away from the world. You are falling back into yourself, into the part of you that is unshaken, unbreakable, unconditionally whole. The world will still be here tomorrow, but tonight, your only task is to come home to your breath, to your softness, to your quiet, to your peace. Let whatever hurts dissolve. Let whatever worries untangle. Let whatever clings slowly loosen its hold. For in this stillness, you are meeting your truest self. Not the self shaped by fear. Not the self shaped by memory. But the self shaped by wisdom, by compassion, by the timeless truth within you. This peace is your origin. This peace is your destination. This peace is who you have been all along. And returning to it is the greatest awakening there is. As this journey comes to a close tonight, allow your spirit to soften into the gentlest truth of all. You are not walking through life by accident. You were born with purpose. You meet others with meaning, and even your struggles have been quietly guiding you back to the peace that has always lived within you. Let these Buddhist stories linger in your heart as you drift into sleep, reminders that your life is not random, your pain is not wasted, and your path is unfolding exactly as it needs to. You don't have to solve anything right now. You don't have to carry anything from today into tomorrow. Just breathe, slowly, deeply, and let your whole being settle like a lake, returning to still water. Tonight, may you rest, knowing you are held by wisdom older than your memories, and loved by a universe far kinder than you imagine. You are safe to let go, safe to rest, safe to come home to yourself. Sleep peacefully now. Your heart knows the way.